Timing of it and it being an emergency ordinance to me is pretty gross.
Coming up on Wake Up Nonstop Local, hiring and firing. A proposed ordinance could change the way Spokane City Council employees are hired and fired. How many people could be let go if it passes?
Also this morning, healthcare hikes. New numbers from Senator Cantwell's office showing just how much those premium prices could spike this year and why the jumps are at the center of the ongoing government shutdown as we enter day number 21.
Plus, we'll be getting a first look at your weather forecast as the sun starts to rise in the distance. I'm tracking sunshine in 60s, but enjoy it while it lasts because I'm also tracking big changes.
Plus, on the prowl, the new video into the newsroom of a cougar in someone's front yard in South Spokane.
The video from the area people need to watch out for this morning, straight ahead.
And this morning, we got a sneak peek of the brand new indoor sand volleyball courts in Spokane Valley coming up.
All that plus Mariner misery.
The M's historic run at the World Series comes to an end. How it happened and how fans are responding this morning. It's all coming up right now on Wake Up Nonstop Local.
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun. And here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. It's all about rising, and I wanna be there.
Yeah, not the moment Mariner fans are happy to see again. After a good day at the plate, Julio Rodriguez struck out swinging, sending the Toronto Blue Jays to the World Series, and the Mariners upset to see their historic season end. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kalai Chalk.
And I'm Sam Adams. Perhaps we should have had a graphic warning before we shared that video one more time from last night. So the Mariners' dream season, as we all know, has come to an end, just a win shy of a first ever World Series. So that's a big story we're following this morning, and we will have a little bit later on right now. But we're looking for the silver lining. I asked Jenny Power before we started the show this morning, I said, what can we talk about when we send it over to you about the game? And you said what?
The sun is shining, guys. Yet again, the sun is shining here the day after when so many folks were sad. So let's just deliver the good news and take a look at what we're seeing here, because it is a really nice sight as we take a live look here over downtown Spokane, Riverfront Park. We are set up to see some really beautiful weather conditions. So, hey, it's late October. Lean into it. We are sitting a little bit chilly as you head out the door, mid to upper 30s, but at least we're above freezing for both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, low to mid 40s for Pullman and Chewelah. Some of our metro areas in the mid 40s for 9 Mile, Meade, as well as the South Hill area. 43 degrees for Rathdrum. We're looking at 41 out toward Cheney. And the other thing to lean into is our fall foliage. This is the latest observed fall foliage by the folks over at Explore Fall, and we are seeing peak colors here in Spokane as well as Coeur d'Alene. Also, another thing to smile about, it's National Apple Day. So apple pie, apple fritter, apple cider. It's going to be great to enjoy all of it. Hopefully, guys, I gave you enough to smile about. We'll talk full details of your weather forecast in 10 minutes.
You had me at apple fritter. Thank you very much.
All right, this just in. Check this out. New video into our newsroom right now. You can see a cougar caught on camera roaming through someone's front yard. This happened just after 3 a.m. this morning on the Spokane South Hill.
Yeah, 57th and Crestline to be specific. The homeowner caught this video on camera, then reported it to Spokane police, who says an hour later there was another sighting near Hamlin Park. They remind people if you see a cougar, head inside immediately, stay calm, and to contact the Department of Natural Resources in non-emergency situations like this. Well, a proposed emergency ordinance could repeal parts of Spokane City Code surrounding hiring and laying off city council employees.
Current city policy does require 4 votes to hire full-time staff and 5 votes to let someone go. This change, though, would turn that power back to the city council president. The proposed ordinance being presented a short time after it was announced that the city is now facing another multi-million-dollar budget shortfall.
We're still going through different proposals and negotiations between council and the mayor's office, so nothing is certain yet. But if we were to look at either downgrading a position or transferring it or moving it over or looking at some of our different responsibilities, it really is important that we have that flexibility.
Now, the Spokane Mayor's Office, as well as the City Council, say there has not been a final decision as to what positions may be eliminated or when. Spokane City Council did pass a series of reforms to its funding pool last night. It makes a sales tax essentially permanent and changes how that money is being spent.
The tax, which has been in place since 2020, needed a vote each year to continue. That's no longer the case. The tax, now called the Heart Fund, raised roughly $7.5 million last year and funds affordable housing and behavioral health services. 75% of the fund did go to capital expenses for brick and mortar housing, with the other 25% going to a combination of services and administrative fees.
Following last night's vote of 5-2, the council opted to increase the amount used on administrative fees with the hopes that this money would be used on services. It would help stabilize people living in units and transition them out. Dissenting council member Michael Cathcart arguing the focus should instead be on new units.
We've, put a lot of dollars into existing units, which, don't get me wrong, a lot of positive and good comes from that. But my belief was that these dollars really should have been for new units at the lowest construction price that we can, still meeting, of course, habitability standards and whatnot. But I just haven't seen that.
Spokane City Council also voting to defer up to $150,000 in building and construction permit fees until someone has moved in. Washingtonians shopping for insurance could see far higher prices on premiums starting today. A breakdown from Senator Maria Cantwell's office detailing where exactly Washingtonians will see the highest price hikes on their health insurance once the enhanced premium tax credit expires.
Residents in Spokane will see an 86% increase. People buying their own insurance in Yakima and Franklin counties will see premiums double. And in Benton County, there will be a 91% hike. This comes as the government shutdown enters day 21 with Obamacare subsidies at the center of the dispute. President Trump is now allowed to deploy National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon, after an appeals court struck down the temporary ruling barring him from doing it. Trump administration argued that the troops are needed to help protect a federal immigration and customs enforcement facility.
A small number of demonstrators have been gathering outside that facility for months now, leading to clashes with federal agents on site. The two justices in favor, writing that the president's assessment of the danger posed to federal property does fit within the range of honest judgment, but the dissenting opinion downplayed the scale of those incidents. Local businesses using the Square Up payment service now back up and running after yesterday's Amazon Web Service outage, along with hundreds of other popular internet sites and services.
Amazon blamed it on a domain system issue and says there was no security system threat, assuring their databases were not breached. Spokane Public Schools also reported minor technical delays, but no major issues. A live look at Washington, D.C. now, where the Supreme Court will decide whether a federal decision that bars frequent users of illegal drugs from possessing a gun and whether it violates the Constitution. Trump administration defends the law, asking the justices to revive a case against a Texas man charged with a felony because he allegedly had a gun in his home and acknowledged being a regular marijuana user.
Now, it's the same law that Hunter Biden was convicted under in June of last year before being pardoned by his father, former President Joe Biden. Arguments will likely take place early next year with a decision by next summer. Demolition now underway at the White House, where workers are constructing a new ballroom. This will be built in the East Wing.
Now, the Trump administration says the project will cost $200 million and will be funded by the president and other private donors. More on the details of this coming up on Today. And more Washington state veterans are eligible now for special disabled veteran parking benefits. State officials say it will apply to veterans with a qualifying discharge, a 70% or higher disability rating, or a federally defined service animal.
Veterans will need to complete a disabled parking application. Parking privileges must be renewed every 5 years. Well, a local volleyball nonprofit right now opening a brand new indoor sand volleyball facility, and it opens this weekend.
And that's where we find NonStop Locals Noah Bolter, who joins us live this morning.
Well, Sam Kalai, it's not just me here this morning. It's also a group of volleyballers who have been playing for almost 2 hours now, getting a little bit tired, but still working hard to give the people at home a show. Now, to talk more about accessibility to this court, the sand volleyball courts, let's introduce this as Chan Asparis with Kakua Volleyball Club. So, Chan, the goal is by the end of the year to start some adult leagues?
Absolutely, yeah. We're looking to start posting some adult leagues, some open gym opportunities for our adult community as well.
So 2v2 if it's sand, and then it's 4v4 on the other courts. And for adults, this would potentially start in December.
Yeah, so we're looking for December. Once we get our indoor club kids settled, look at opening up all those extra times to engage the rest of the community and make sure they have opportunities as well.
Well, and then later on, and we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but once everything is established and the volleyball is all figured out, you want to expand and use this sand for other sports as well.
Yeah, we're definitely open. Anything, any cross-functional training. We do a lot of sand resistance training. I think it's beneficial for a lot of sports, whether it be yoga or football or baseball or whatever. Sand movement, amazing. And you can tell. You've been out here for 2 hours with me. You know, you feel it. It works.
I'm getting a little sweaty myself. I got sand in places I didn't know sand could go, Chan, I'll tell you that. But for the people at home, take a look at a shirt right here, because this is where, if you want to get involved, this is where you're going to go. Kokua, Kokua, VBC.com, but it's also Kokua VBC on Instagram and Facebook. That's where you can message Chan if you want to get involved in some of those adult leagues. And if you're wondering just where in Spokane Valley this is, we're just next to the industrial park, just east of Sullivan in Spokane Valley. Live in Spokane Valley. Noah Bolter, NonStop Local.
All right, Noah, thank you. All right, from the sandy beaches to holiday season, it's about to rock with the return of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Their tour kicks off November 13th with stops in more than 60 cities across the United States.
And it includes a visit to the Spokane Arena November 21st. The legendary rock orchestra, they're bringing a new production. It's called The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and more.
Now, with over 20 million tickets sold since their first winter tour, the opera has become one of the most successful holiday tour acts in rock history, or should I say orchestra.
You are away from your own family at home, but you have this giant family around you. And I know that when I look at the audience, we've brought a lot of them together. It's a blessing to know that we're that important to people. We've become, like Al said, a part of their tradition.
All right, the show with fireworks and all and the lights will be open with the fan favorite holiday rock opera. That's followed by a second act featuring the band's biggest songs with a special tribute to their album, Beethoven's Last Night.
Okay, I'm sold. I can't even hear them. And I'm sold on the lights and the rock and the hair, on all of it.
It looks crazy.
I know people who've been looking forward to this for months. They cannot wait for them to come to town.
It seems as though, yeah, like he said, it's part of the tradition, like how some families go to the Nutcracker every year. Maybe you go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Different kind of cracker in that one. All right, more to come here on the Wake Up Show. Jenny's tracking that weather.
Yeah, we'll get a full look at what you can expect weather-wise. I am tracking some weekend changes, so get outside and enjoy this gorgeous sunrise as we are waking up on a Tuesday.
All right, Jenny mentioned it's National Apple Day. So we asked you, what's your favorite kind of apple? You can sound off and let us know right now.
There are a lot of choices. That's a whole lot of apples. How do you like them apples? If you want to submit your answer, all you got to do is scan that QR code on your screen, click on Wake Up, cast your vote, make it count, because of course we are in Apple country. We'll be right back.